Oh.
Oh God. Okay, my thing just. Yo, you are hilarious.
What happened? Oh no, my live.
No.
The devil is alive.
It says you're alive. On my end.
But it went away. I can't see my live thing. Hold on, let me try this again. Let me fix it.
Hey y'all. Let me see who. Yeah, it says live on my end.
I gotta change the stream key. Okay.
Yeah, now it says you're live. You got it says episode 11 though.
That's fine. I, 12. Hey, should I try my two-step? See if I can get it. Let me try it. Right. Front, stop. You can't see it though. That's all right. It's okay.
I felt it though.
You felt it. You felt it.
I see the coordination. It's coordinated. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Good morning.
Hey y'all. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
And the girls are
this thing off.
The girls about to take a break.
Week 12.
Mm-hmm.
Week 12. We made it.
Week 12.
We made it.
Never would have made it.
Hey.
Listen. Oh, 12 weeks.
Hey.
12 weeks, 3 months.
12. Let me tell you something. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time when you're healing, huh? Huh?
Ooh.
A lot can happen in 3 months.
When you healing, scabbing,
picking at the scab.
Picking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Letting it grow back.
Letting it grow back, you know, and then trying to polish it up. It's all
some women on it.
You know, it's a lot, you know.
Then you realize you gotta let the band-aid sit on there with the arm, let it heal. You're like, all right, leave it alone, leave it alone. All right, Jesus, you okay? I heard you.
If we could all just kind of like get to a place like just in humanity that we realize that nothing is fixed. Like there's no such thing as I'm healed forever. There's no such thing as, you know, I'm, you know, like I've learned everything. Like there's always more to learn and there's always something that you got to heal from. If I could just remember that every time something or somebody gets under my skin.
It really comes down to the path of least resistance, right? Because knowing all these ebbs and flows. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Celia. You learn like, okay, you know, to expect this. He doesn't promise every day is going to be sunshine. So it's just learning. But these lessons and these healing, these seasons of healing and transformation is just strengthening us as we proceed in life and as we grow. So as they come, because the storm's gonna come, huh? As they come, we are more rooted. If you take the time to hear, to learn the lesson in the season,
to learn the lesson,
you're gonna be tossed to and fro. That's what they said.
And I think also if we also understood, because I'm learning this, right, as I'm getting stronger in my faith that this is not the world that God wanted for us. This is not the world that he wanted for us.
Are you going back to Genesis? You're going back to 2024.
I'm talking about in the Bible, in Genesis. This was not his plan, but he knew that it could go awry.
He gave us free will.
Yeah. If you give humans free will, anything could happen.
One thing we're going to do is mess some stuff up.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but like even from just day to day, like people, it's like what's her name? Raquel, the expert. What she call herself? Oh gosh.
Oh, the girl that we follow?
The one that I was talking to yesterday on Instagram. I forgot her name right now. What is it?
Raquel, the capacity expert.
Yes, Raquel, the capacity expert. We chatted briefly, like back and forth on Instagram yesterday, and it's just like we can't expect to never have trauma again. We can't expect for things never to go wrong again. We can't expect for it to always be okay. The goal is to be aware, take whatever you learn, turn it into a tool, and use it to recover and bounce back from whatever else comes. Because it's always something. It's always something. And like even in my own just awareness in this moment, like I recognize that at the beginning of the year, I was hoping and wishing and praying for sunshine and rainbows. Like, God, can I get a good free 6 months? Can I just get 6 months of just like chill? And life was like, God was like, nah, that ain't how it go. Life showed up and reminded me, oh, I'm glad you got over that thing, sis. I'm happy for you. But here's something else for you to think about, for you to work through.
It won't always be like this. The Lord perfect that concerning me sooner or later. Yep. It'll turn in my favor, turn it around. So there's seasons.
Absolutely, because it goes both ways. Mm-hmm. There's seasons of challenge, and then there's seasons of harvest. Mm-hmm. Like there's seasons, like you gotta.
And God, and the beautiful thing about it is in the Bible, he gives us instructions for everything. Even he said, just when you find yourself in the valley, that's when you call out to him and say, the Lord is my refuge, and he will be there. Right? He knows he's already prepared himself to be your refuge, to be our refuge, and to be our way of escape in those moments. And sometimes it's hard. Yes, we get in our feelings and it's like, oh, God, I'm tired. It's too much. He's like, just hold on. Yeah. Listen, these 3 months have been very transitional for me in a lot of ways. I was going through my own, healing, really real healing journey in a lot of different areas, right? Very transparent. Went off the rails a little bit. It's okay. It's life. We're human. But we're here. Bless the Lord. We're gonna leave it right there. We're gonna let's pick it up, put it right back down. We're gonna acknowledge it. But even in that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for seeing, okay, girl, you still hurting. It's okay. Huh? You still got some things to work through. That's all right.
It's okay. It's all okay. It's all okay. And it's all gonna be okay.
May have some scars. I am healed. Circumstances. I am healed. Disappointment. That's a song. I was gonna sing it. I'm trying to talk it out because I really want to sing it. You know that song?
No, I don't.
May have some scars. Doom, doom. I am healed. Donald Lawrence. Circumstances. Doom, doom.
The melody sounds familiar, but I can't remember.
Disappointment. I am healed. Even through all that, I'm still healed. I'm claiming it. I'm healed.
Yeah. And it's like even people, like I would say, even for people who aren't necessarily believers, and you have your impasses when it comes to like religion and spirituality or whatever the case may be. But it's just like if because everything is transferable, and if you think about life from like a manifesting, right, and a positive thinking and a mindset, a mindset perspective, right? Where if you believe that you can change your mindset just individually, if you change your mindset, you can change your life. If you don't believe in God, fine. If you don't believe in nothing, don't. Just believe that you can change you. If you could just believe that one thing, everything else, it's steps to it. because I lean on my faith for strength because I know that I can't depend on human will for my strength, right? I'm fully aware of what faith does for me. But if you're not really that solid in your faith, figure out how to change your mindset, right? Because having a mindset that is malleable, like you can move it and you can shift it and you can see things, self-awareness, it'll take you far.
And if you really think about it, remove religion, and we talk about spirituality, the Bible is all about mindset. So like you said, you don't have this per se. If that's not your thing, we're not forcing that. But it all teaches the same thing. The word you speak, the thought you think, the word, the ear, you have to guard. That's why it says, and I can only refer to what I know. But even this, if you want to just keep it general, guard your heart, guard your eyes, your ears, your mouth, what you say, what you think, what you hear, what you see. Guard those things, protect those things as you're on this journey of life. There's meditation that's very general. Meditation, the Bible talks about meditating. Meditate on the word. Meditate, it's just the affirmations. The Bible gives you words to speak. You can take the biblical part out and just say, okay, I am what? I am healed. I'm a teacher. I'm a preacher. I'm a student. I'm whatever it is that you want to be. I'm a millionaire. I'm a business owner. I'm a successful corporate, professional. I am fit.
Thriving. I'm a survivor. I am thriving. Like
I know I can navigate these things. I have more self-control.
Yeah.
I have more control over my mouth, over my heart, over my thoughts. Speak those things. You there's a book, I'll tell you the book right now. It really changed my life before I really got, I always been faith-based, but I moved away. Religion had moved me away from a lot of things. I was kind of turned off by religion, but I always kept my root. And there's a book called You Can Heal Your Life. By Louise L. Is it May or Hay? And she literally has what do you call it in the back of the book, like a
workbook.
Yeah, and it tells you. She even says, like, she even it's a workbook, and she even has it where it's a company PDF, and she believes that even some of our ailments are connected to our mindset. Like she has, like for example, asthma. She said that is because of the inability to breathe for someone's self, feeling stifled and suppressed. And she has an affirmation for that, for asthma. When you're feeling that, I am safe for me now to take charge of my own life. I choose to be free. Even down to athlete's foot, she has an affirmation for.
That's
in that book she talked about, and just the power of our words.
That's interesting. That's really interesting about that you started with the asthma thing. I gotta go look into that. When I was a kid, I was a chronic asthmatic and I was really sick most of my childhood, probably until like my mid-teens. And I remember there was this moment, and I always just attribute it to God. There was this moment where I heard God was like, take a deep breath and slow down. And I learned how to control my asthma by not allowing it to send me into a frenzy, to slow down and be mindful of my breathing. I don't know if you when you have asthma, it literally, like that commercial that they used to have, and it was like, it feels like you're breathing through a straw. It feels like you're trying to take really deep breaths through this little thing, like this little hole. And it's like every breath you take, you feel like your chest is going to open. And I remember I used to get so panicky. And whenever I would get panicky, it makes you anxious and it gets worse. So I learned how, I learned how to shift my mindset before I knew what that was, like as a teenager.
I just had an aha moment because you said when you were born into trauma because your mother was shot, right? While she's fighting with you. Here's a line that says, babies and children, it says, fear of life, not wanting to be here. So just think about your new spirit coming into this world through trauma. There was a fear already there, transpired. And it says, the affirmation for a child is the child is safe and loved. The child is welcome and cherished. That type of trauma can rattle. You don't even realize the impact it has on your spirit.
Let me tell you, girl, when I started going to therapy,
that just did something.
And that lady had me write a letter to my younger self. And when I told her about all the stuff that I had experienced, like in the first 15, 20 years of my life, she was just like, she had to stop. She said, wait a minute. She said, wait a minute. I just need you to stop for a second. She was like, I need you to know that wasn't normal. That those things you were not supposed to witness and experience that amount of trauma from the time you were born until
in the womb.
Like it was, and I had never thought about that. I remember I had that conversation with my mother. She was like, wow. And then, like, so you think about like I came through a womb that was already dealing with trauma. And then I come into the world and I came into this world sick. Like I came into this world
because your body was literally carrying trauma, and that's carrying
trauma. Inflammation. There's a trauma response. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's girl, I could go so like even with the idea and the concept of inflammation, like your inflammation is like a normal part of like your body system, but you're not supposed to be in a state of inflammation for long, excessive periods of time. It's like the same thing with like cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It happens, it's supposed to happen, and then it's supposed to stop. It's not supposed to keep happening. You know what I mean? Like the idea of PTSD and all like these things keep happening to people over and over again, and like your body never, your nervous system never get a chance to recover.
Yeah, even here she says inflammation is the root is fear, seeing red, inflamed thinking. The affirmation to combat that is my thinking is peaceful, calm, and centered. And so what I did with this book, this is before I even like this is me even during my career, even like over the past, I would say 10 years, my cousin put me onto this book. I would just pick out the things that were my ailments, because we all have different ailments, whether it's anxiety or things like that, or back pains. And I wrote down each affirmation out of this PDF, and I would recite them every day. Mm-hmm. And even she said, like, you have to get so confident in God or the universe that you just say what you need. She said she had to begin in practice. I want a furnished apartment, this, and this, and money, and just wait. Like we're literally the path of least resistance, and I have to come back to this book often. I forget, but like every day. She said every day it's like series, like you rotate, but every day you work on a different, or like a weeks at a time, or month at a time. You work on different affirmations, and it's power in your words. But the Bible also tells us that, because how did He create this world? With words.
What does the Bible say? If there was what is it? The word was first.
The beginning was the word, and what the word was God, and the word is God. I'm like,
it's like there's so many maps and so many ways about tackling life. Life is rough life is rough in terms of like our capacities to grow and learn and make decisions and do all these things. And then there are some of us who have more challenges, right? Who experience more suffering. But there is like a common thread in how we get over things or how we get through things. Like it's mindset is everything. Yeah. Like, and I realized that in my life, that in order for me to even get to the life that I thought I wanted, because there was a thought. It wasn't like I saw it. I thought it, and then I was like, all right, I'll never be able to see it clearly until I make these changes, because I'm thinking it, but I'm not seeing it. And me as a person, I'm a big picture thinker. Like I think big, right? And then I bring all the little pieces in. So I always get caught in that just thinking something.
Can I challenge you on something? I know there is some areas where you have to do some things to make it happen. But do you just want to ask you a question? I don't want to challenge. I don't want to say challenge it. But do you think there's something that you can just say that you want, and you just continue to move without having to feel like you have to change something? Like you can.
It's not about changing something about me, but you can think something but not take any steps to do it.
Okay.
So thinking about something and not doing nothing, it means if you think something or you want something and you do nothing for it, then you're not ready for the change.
Oh yeah. Okay.
In order to manifest anything, you could sit in a room all day and be like, I want this, I want that, but what are you doing for it? It's like kind of like that video.
To receive. Preparation.
It's like that video.
Prepare yourself to
Absolutely.
receive it.
Preparation. You got to prepare. Like, you ever seen that video with Kerry Washington? And she's like, you can pray to not miss the bus, But you don't stand there and wait for the bus to pass you by. You run to catch the bus. Like, you got to take action. Like, so no, I was living through a period.
Faith without works is dead.
That's it. Faith without work is dead. Like, I was literally living through a process where I was thinking things, but I wasn't taking the action to get the thought to become the vision. Not necessarily changing me. Okay. You know, I mean, I changed in the process, but just the thought.
I want to clarify that. I just want to make sure. But can we go ahead and kick off this podcast with the intro? This is week 12.
Oh yeah.
Do the thing.
All right, so look. We 20 minutes in and we just been chatting. So today, what is our goal to like end at an hour and 30 or hour and 40 minutes?
I got a corned beef on the stove, so I ain't trying to be one.
Okay, so we got an hour, we got 90, 110 minutes.
Corned beef and cabbage every year, like we a part of the. That's the one inclusive dish we make every.
You know, Black folk,
we celebrate everybody's.
You know how we do, but nobody ever talks about that part. How we welcome and celebrate everything and everybody.
Celebrate everything over here having that and cabbage.
You know, but nobody wants to. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
because our fights, our initiatives always benefit everyone else. Oh, okay.
Who benefited from civil rights?
That's how we do.
Everybody. Who benefited from diversity, equity, and inclusion? Everybody. Who's a minority? Everybody. Don't get me started on. But anyway. Okay, cool. Okay, everybody but we know who the but is. But anyway, welcome to the H.E.A.L podcast. Join two real-life friends and professional women on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and healing. Together, we explore what it means to unpack life's challenges, embrace self-awareness, grow in our spiritual practices, and navigate healing, one honest conversation at a time. This is not a space for giving advice, but rather a place to share tools, tips, and reflections that have inspired us along the way. Whether you're looking for clarity, connection, or curiosity-driven dialogue, you're in the right place. Let's hold each other accountable with love as we grow together. Welcome to episode 12, the season 1 finale. I still can't believe that I did a whole season of anything. Listen, my aunt texted me the other day. She was like, I see you too.
We did it, girl. We did it. Listen. May have some scars. Circumstances, disappointments, but we did it. So Jazz, these 12 weeks that we have been on this journey together, I want to ask you, my dear sister, what was your biggest learning from this journey with podcasting?
Do you want to do the exercise, or do you just want to do it generally?
I didn't really read the exercise. Let's go ahead. We'll do exercise.
It's okay. So I'll explain the exercise, right? So it'll give you a couple minutes for you to think about what you want to talk about, and then and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about. All right. So, in my years as a facilitator and educator, one of the things that we used to do as an icebreaker, we would do this thing, and it's called a rose, a bud, and a thorn, right? So a rose is something that's positive and that is successful for you right now in your life. A thorn is an obstacle that you're currently having. And a bud is an opportunity for growth, right? Or something that you look forward to. So we were talking about what we were going to talk about this episode, and I was like, girl, I don't know. But then we started talking about something else, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of when I used to teach and we used to do nah. So we was like, okay, let's try it. Let's talk about some of the things. So
did you explain the rose, what it is, a rose, bud, and a thorn? Did you explain that?
I did. Mm-hmm. So my rose is my new relationship with God. It's been a really great experience to build my own relationship with God and no longer leaning on the relationship with God that my grandmother gave me. Because like I feel like most of my life I've been operating out of like residual faith, the faith that she instilled in me. Okay. And this season of my life, my relationship with God is mine and mine alone, and it's personal. It leads me to a daily devotion, right? It leads me to prayer daily. And it also leads me sometimes to, not sometimes, but to be mindful of the words and the things I speak over my own life. It helps me to combat negative self-talk. And there's this thing that I personally like, I have challenges with. We'll get to that. But like, in thinking about wanting to control everything, I'm learning to just trust that I'm going to be okay, because I'm always okay. Like everything always works out. It's always okay. So that's my roles. My roles is my new relationship with God. My bud is this podcast, as well as the improvement, even though it's slow, the improvement that I see with my health. So yeah, so this podcast has really, really pushed me in ways that I didn't expect it to, and I'm thankful for that. And now I'm like thinking more creatively, and I'm preparing myself for all the possibilities of where it could go. And I'm not like limiting myself. I'm expanding my belief system on how far this podcast can go. There is no limit to where this podcast can go. There's no limitation. So so that's my bud, right? And then when it comes to my health, I'm finally in a place where I can afford to provide the kind of healthcare that I need specifically for my issues. And I'm seeing progress, right? Yeah, I'm seeing progress in a lot of different ways, but it's too many to go through. I'm just seeing progress. You see, I'm 45 and I still got my edges, and I got hormone imbalance. That's right there. Listen, when you got hormone issues and you still hold on to your edges, that's a blessing, because hormones will take all of it out. I had some bald spots, but whatever. Anyway, a thorn. So my current thorn is somewhat professional and somewhat personal. It's really, really stepping in and leaning into all of my why. Who are you laughing at? What they said?
You wrong. You said, "Come on, edges."
So like, my thorn right now is me leaning back into my leadership skills and my creativity and my strategy on a high level. I feel like there's a part of me that has been in survival mode for a long time. Mm-hmm. And once I kind of was able to take a breath, I just kind of got like complacent. And then I also was still feeling some pain. So I wasn't really venturing off to like really get back into that strong leadership and strategic and creative mindset that I normally operate. So I haven't been operating at my full potential. So that's the thing that's my thorn right now. Those are things that I know I need to kind of like tighten up throughout my whole life, personally and professionally.
I love that. So just to recap what you said, you said your personal relationship with God. You no longer live in a residual faith of your grandmother. We love that. Your bud, the podcast, how it's been creatively stretching you, right? The creative stretch. Mm-hmm. And then improvement with your health. And then your thorn. It's been the challenge that you've been facing on the job. It's also been stretching you, but actually allowing you and teaching you to lean into yourself, into your leadership skills, your natural leadership skills on a higher level.
Absolutely. But I forgot to say the word stretching. So thank you for reminding me.
Got you. I got you.
That's my thorn. The stretching.
Stretch.
The stretch is the thing that's getting on my nerves.
That thorn.
That thorn.
Uncomfortable. Growth is not always comfortable. Growth is very rarely comfortable.
And you know what's crazy? You know how many high school seniors I have written Common App for their like for them to go to college with, how many essays I've edited and stuff. I used to always tell them, guess what? Growth isn't comfortable. And it's just funny, right? How life comes full circle. And now
your own words, like, oh yeah, I said that, right? Like we talked about last week when Bianca was like, remember, you can't control
people.
Don't tell me what I said, but you're right.
Bianca was like, didn't you say? Exactly. Hi Bianca, thank you for that. That was a like an aha moment for me.
Yeah.
Because it means that some of these conversations are impactful and people are thinking about it. So it's like, no matter how many people are watching it, as long as it's impacting and it's creating some conversation or connection, I feel like the podcast is successful.
Real quick, hello everyone who's joining us so far. I just want to stop and say hello. Thank you for joining us. So, okay, now it's my turn.
Do you want me to reread what each one means?
I have it open. I was thinking.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate it. And I wasn't being funny. I was being
I didn't think that you were. Go on, child.
Because I was definitely looking.
I was on the other screen. I didn't see it, but go ahead.
Okay, so the rose. For me, a positive is I want to say professionally, I'm just grateful because this week was just something professionally, like I got a raise. I got a significant raise. Okay. I got a so my testimony is that, I had advocated for pay equity and, for fair pay. And it took, thank God for my leaders who people who don't mind being held accountable and said, hey, Key, you know what you want? I said, this is what I need. This is what I need. I said, this is what I need. And they said, you deserve that and more, but we're going to do what we can do to make sure that to bring you where you need to be. And last year they bumped me up to it. They got me a little closer last year. And this year they closed the gap, even more, a lot more. And so that I'm grateful. And I don't take that lightly. And it's like, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of holding my breath. Even at points I was like, I don't know what to expect because nothing was promised to me. But you know what's promised to me? God's favor, huh? His favor. It ain't fair, but it's real. And when you put your faith in him, and there's moments, Jasmine's like, I said, I don't know. They didn't give me a number to expect. I don't know what to expect. I didn't know I was going to just get the basic, cost of living increase, or it was going to be the same I got last year. But to get more, almost double of last year, that ain't nobody but God. Mm-hmm. And I have to give him the glory for that. So that's my rose for especially just this week. And just also, this podcast has been definitely a therapeutic release for me, going through my transition and giving me an outlet. I've never really worked. I am a creative, but the career path I chose doesn't really tap into my creative side. And I've always dabbled in my creative genius, but I never really fully operated in it. And this space has allowed me to do that, but also it became a passion project. Yes, it became a little tiring for the last couple of weeks, but it stretched me in this space and allowed me to tap into my creative side and for something for myself and for us as a group, as a team, but for myself also. And it really allowed me to think in this space and really operate in a space where I don't typically do. So I'm grateful for that. The bud, I'm going to go in order what you went. The bud is I'm finding my niche. So I'm realizing that the social media platforms have different niches and different ways of engagement, and I'm finding my niche and engagement. And I'm really exploring storytelling and creating a community around the story that I'm telling for myself. For many years, if you follow me on Instagram, I've always kind of told my corporate, journey and my career journey, my personal journey. But now I'm really in the space of cultivating a storyline, or not just cultivating a story in a way that I can communicate to people and create a community where I can help people and share my journey with them to help them find their own voice and strategy in whatever area they're in, whether it's corporate, entrepreneurship. I did a little entrepreneurship at the back in the day too. I was going through some old pictures I saw when I would sell dresses. I was selling bags. I was a hustler. I always been a hustler back in the day. So I was like, oh, wow, I used to do a lot. I always had my hand in something. Even now, my goal was to eventually just have one job that replaced all those hustles. And then also finding a different hustle. I don't want to be. I'm tired. I don't got two jobs in me. But if I can get a side, if I can get some other ways of creating income.
Me too.
The social media platform, like TikTok is very different from Instagram, and like my following that I am cultivating on there is not people I know. Like on Instagram, my followers is mainly my network between personal and professional, but TikTok are people I don't know.
Yep.
Like I think right now,
tap in. People on TikTok tap in.
They tap in and they engage. I think like 50% of my following, I just peaked 100, over 100 now followers. But like I would say half of that are my friends. And I'll be really honest with you, I'm not following everybody. I don't want to follow everybody. I want to cultivate new relationships. So I strategically did not reach out to people that I follow here on Instagram. And I think half of my followers are people I don't even know. I'm meeting on TikTok. So that's one thing. That's my bud, to seeing where that's going to go. And this year I'm challenging myself, not challenging myself. I'm focusing my energy on me. I'm being intentionally selfish. Naturally, I love people. And I find joy in supporting my friends, whatever that means. And whatever way that means, I feel given to. Are you okay?
Yeah, guys. I hit my elbow, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
Because listen, over 40, let me tell you something. I almost jammed my shoulder up in church today, put my jacket on. So I got the wrong move out the game for a week.
I appreciate the way you just stopped. You said, "Wait, you okay, girl?" Would you ever like hit your elbow on like a corner? Oh,
girl. I did this in church with my jacket on. Did something. I said, "Oh, so girl." That's why I said that. Okay, wait.
You saw my face. I was like, "Wait." But go ahead, finish. Sorry.
But so this year, I was talking to you about this earlier. I said I always sown into others, put my energy to other people. That's because I love to do it, not because somebody forced me to. But this year, I'm going to challenge myself to see what that looks like when I put all that energy into myself. The way we push this podcast, the way I push any other initiatives or projects I choose to do this year and beyond, I'm going to put that energy into myself first. And then, which is just his thing, because when you do that, you get the overflow. The overflow is where you get to bless other people. That's the way I get to bless y'all. So right now, I'm being selfish and building up and filling my cup, so y'all get the overflow. Y'all can't get what's in my cup right now. Now, if I get some overflow, you get that part.
That's
right. But right now, I'm filling my cup.
All I got. I ain't got nothing to give nobody.
Look, once this get over here, you get the remnants. Okay. The Thorn challenge. Thorn. It's continuing to be. I'm a very emotional person. And this is who I am. I'm not saying in a way that's a negative thing, because I know sometimes in the society, showing emotions is seen as weakness. We bind that spirit because it's a lie. Emotions are meant to be felt. We are human, having human experiences. We're spirits having human experiences, and we are meant to have emotions and feel the things.
Because it's normal.
It's normal. It's okay to feel.
Part of your biology.
It's okay. Okay. And right now, I'm really, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. I'm undoing a lot of the harmful thinking that I've, between childhood and my own experiences. I'm unlearning a lot. Even yesterday, I was triggered a little bit about something, and I was ready to like start typing, right? And I got on my knees. I said, "Lord, help me. Help me." I'm learning to bring the Bible says the spirit, the church part, you bring your flesh under submission. It's learning self-control and discipline. And for number one, everything's not about me. And I can't make it about me. But even if it is about me, that's not my battle to fight. And staying and learning to really control my reactions and my responses to things, especially if I know I know what that can create. And that's not my desired outcome. It's okay to be quiet, even that means you may be misunderstood. So that is where the thorn is, because I'm a proud, outspoken person. I've built my brand. I am who I am. I say what I say when I say, I'm not confrontational, but if I'll speak when I have to speak. I'll say what I have to say when I have to. Most times if I have an issue, I speak it in love. I don't like to create, but I found myself back to corner a couple times.
Yeah.
And so and I didn't like what that was. But that also showed me I don't like what that produced, but it also taught me where I still need to grow. You know, because when you don't get pushed in the corner too much, you know, we know what it was when we was teenagers. Yeah. But what about if I put you in the corner at 40-something years old, 42 years old? What does that look like?
No, absolutely. I have a question.
Okay, but that's my role, my bud and my bud and my thorn. For that,
shout out to you. So, I'm not gonna do a recap of everything you said because it's all connected. No, because I was thinking, because I'll be thinking, you know, I'll be processing. So it's two things. I think it's important, like in terms of like how we communicate words. You know, I'm really big on words and what they actually mean, because I feel like we live in a world where people respond to how something makes them feel, not always what the person said, right? And it's like calling people or telling someone you're so emotional or you're being emotional. I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if we could just say, hey, why are you so upset? Why are you so sad?
What's causing you discomfort?
Yes, like, why are you angry? Why are you doing this? Instead of saying, you're so emotional. So it just made me think about that, because I think words are important. And it just made me think about even like myself, because some of us, certain things can become emotionally charged, but how we display that emotion looks different, because anger looks different than sadness.
Right. And anger a lot of times is a response, or sometimes a result of sadness, because anger comes in, it can be a tool of protection. When you feel unsafe, anger is protecting you from, like, you're in survival mode, right? So protective mode.
It's always layered, right? And then
not survival, but self-preservation. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. No, absolutely. So then that's that part, right? So it's that, like, how we communicate to people what we're witnessing or what we're experiencing, right? There's a difference in talking to someone and saying, why are you so angry? Or why are you so emotional all the time? Why are you this and why are you that? And then rather than like trying to acknowledge what's happening or what you see and be like, hey, is there a reason why you're crying? Why are you so sad? Why are you so upset? Why does this thing make you so angry? I wonder how many relationships or how many conversations could be shifted by asking that question rather than responding to what you're actually seeing in that moment, right? That's one thing. But then the other thing is like talking about you feeling like you were, you know, pushed into a corner, right? And like when you first started talking about it, you were saying how like you have an awareness of who you are and how you operate and how you see the world. But in listening to what you said, I also heard you say, I'm not above reproach. You didn't use those words, but the way you communicated is like, I'm aware of how I can show up, but I'm also okay with you saying to me, this doesn't work for you. Or you communicating, I need this from you versus what I'm doing. And I'm okay because I can respond to that in love, right?
Yeah.
And it goes back to the other part of the thing is just like sometimes people are so hell-bent on responding to what's happening rather than asking the question, why is this happening? You get what I'm saying? Because if you're backed in the corner and your way to get out the corner is to flip a table, right? To get out of the corner, the other person who's experiencing that in the moment, they're standing there. So you know that this situation has gotten this person in this corner. What would it be for us all to be thinking when we're having these conversations and these conflicts to be like, okay, wait, what's happening right now? Why do you feel the need to flip the table? Rather than saying, oh my God, you did this to me. You hit me with a, you know what I mean? Instead of like personalizing it. Because a lot of the stuff that we do and a lot of our responses to people ain't got nothing to do with the other person. A lot of it is our trauma, how we respond to that type of trauma, because we've already done that, seen that, and that's how we know how to respond.
Because it's familiar.
Because it's familiar. The feeling is familiar.
You're triggering a familiar feeling. You have to do a self-check to say, okay, what did I do that was familiar to that trigger?
Or what did I do? What's happening in this moment? Right? Because it's like you can step outside of what's happening and say, hey, what's happening in this moment. And then the other person has an opportunity to say, when you said this thing or you did this thing, that made me feel this way. It's like, it's how we communicate. Because I realized, like, even in my own relationships, I'm a control. I don't like things out of order. I like to know what's coming, what's up there, who all gonna be there, where we going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a part of me that wants to know what's happening. So and rather than me asking people, I just like to organize it. Oh, don't worry. I'll let everybody know where we're going. I'll share the time. I'll put it together. I'll make the calls. So then I ain't gotta ask because I said it. I did it. So now y'all just get the information. That's just a part of my control issues. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but when, as I've gotten older and as I've matured emotionally and spiritually, sometimes I stop and I'm like, what's happening in this moment right now? Now, granted, sometimes people don't want to talk and they don't want to express what's going on with them. But I've learned for myself, okay, this ain't got nothing to do with me right now. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna leave room for all whatever's happening to happen. And I'm also gonna be like, hey, would you like to talk about it later? Like, those are the things I'm learning. And I just wonder, like, if more people would say, hey, why do you feel like you're in the corner? Why are you backed in the corner? Why are you doing this? Like, what's happening? I just wonder how communication will look different. Because I feel like people just respond. No, you didn't do this, that. You know what I'm saying?
No. Okay. But even like when I think back to the Power Moves book by Sarah Jakes Roberts, she says sometimes we have to often remember that we can be both. We can unintentionally harm people.
Because you can be the victim
and the villain at the
same damn time. And you better know that.
And you got to be aware of that. Like,
you can't walk around this world thinking you never hurt people. You can't walk around this world thinking that just because it made sense to you that it was the right thing to do. We all cause harm. That's it. We have all harmed something, someone, somewhere, sometime. Now, this is my pet peeve. Because if I harm your ass and you don't tell me, then I don't know nothing about it. Don't assume that I know, because I don't.
Right.
And I can tell you that right now. This is real life. I'm being very honest in this moment. If I have ever harmed you and you didn't tell me, I have no knowledge of it. That's it. That's a testimony to my life. Yeah. Could you try so hard not to say something? What you want to say, Kiki? I want to hear. I'm just curious. Okay.
That was episode 10. Y'all got me on episode 10. Episode 9.
No, I think that was 10. Because Maddie was episode 11. I think that was 10. That's funny. Ooh, I could tell when your wheels be turning, child.
My girlfriend, I went out for drinks. I have a group chat called Henny Straight No Chaser.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the group chat, Henny Straight. So we worked together at, hey, Courtney. Hey. We met at my previous employer. And so we met at Moe Hennessy. And these two young ladies are very straightforward. They're also my accountability partners. And also, I told them today, like, they are where I want to be, like, financially in different areas. Like, they're people who I aspire to be in certain areas of my life. And our group chat is called Henny Straight No Chaser. And definitely it gets spicy. It just gets spicy in there. But my girlfriend, she said, I'm gonna say this in love to you. She said, it's time to let go.
Wait, did she do the leaning?
She did. She said, I'm gonna
do the leaning.
She said, I'm gonna say this to you with love. I'm just gonna unpack this. I'm gonna unpack this too. She said, I'm gonna say this to you with love. She said, I know. She said, I know, because I know. I'm in the inner circle, so I know what's going on. People may not understand they may not know, but I know. Mm-hmm. You right. I said, but I was quiet for 3 months, and I'm kind of over. She's like, let it go. But I want to say this. Oh man, I dropped iced tea on my pants. It's so annoying. What I will say is this. What I'm learning as an adult and in friendship, well, in therapy, I'm learning that as we grow and mature, and as we learn to have boundaries, that sometimes we have to reintroduce ourselves, or even like, or update our people on what we require as we evolve. And I realized that while there are certain things I don't mind a straight, direct statement to, I appreciate when things are said in love to me. I'm a little bit more sensitive in my older years. I need a little bit more. You don't have to coddle me, but
so I give you a disclaimer.
Yeah, I like the preface of like, hey, sis, come here. I love you. I love you. Come here. Come close. I love you. I love you. I want to see you win. I'm gonna need you to calm it down. Okay. Okay. Because that disarms me. That's what I need.
So you need to be disarmed.
I need to be disarmed. And I unpack that because growing up in religion, everything is very dogmatic. What's dogmatic? They say the name of Jesus, but they tear you down instead of to a defense, right? Yeah. But also, I think about as a manager, I was a people leader. I've had experience leading people, and one of the strategic ways in which you can give somebody feedback is you first lead with a compliment. Hey, you're doing a great job at this. I see where you're growing. I see the steps you're taking to progress. But this is the area right here we need a little bit of. I need you to focus on and lead in on a little bit more.
Yeah, I like that too.
A lot of
people are not good at that, but I like that too.
We don't. But I'm learning in this at 42 that, and again, like it's not because anybody did anything wrong. I'm learning what I need. And like I said, when I was talking about my bud, it's like I'm learning and I'm leaning to what Kyoshi needs in this season. And how I want to be I want to do my best, and even approaching how people I deal with. And how I have a very way that I had my ways of being a bit harsh. I may have been to some people, right? Not everybody. I try to lead with like, hey, friend, listen. Well, so next time instead of saying stop playing with my face, it might be hey, you're a little close. You're a little close to the edge of my boundary. And if you like to see this, if you would like to continue on this relationship or friendship, I'm gonna need you to reconsider how you move with me, or just disengage. Like Jerome said in a couple of episodes ago, he was like, you shouldn't even have to say all that. If you can't, if you can, I gotta go. Yeah. We're not negotiating.
Because I think that also puts accountability back on us. Because if you state, hey, this is what I need. Yeah. And then at some point, you or me or whoever, we have to realize that the other person doesn't have the capacity. And that is a lesson that when I tell you I keep learning that thing, that's it's like a broken record. Yeah. They don't have the capacity.
Courtney said, Key, put the blazing guns back in the holster. I have to realize though, the part of my reason why my guns were blazing is because I came from some traumatic experiences and relationships. And so I realized, hindsight looking back, I was definitely on a little bit edge. And I was kind of like, but now the shift in my perspective is anything I'm going into, whether it's platonic or or romantic, I trust myself. And I told you the other day, I said, I trust myself to that when I feel something, I'm going to address it. If I don't feel something, whatever it is, I trust myself, and I trust God that he's going to position me in the right places and the right connections for what is meant for me. So I no longer have to test this. And like Dr. Nita Phil talking about, they like, we spend so much time testing people and seeing what they're going to do.
Let them be.
I am, as a wise man, a man used to always tell me the universe is conspiring for me. That's one thing I gained. The universe is conspiring for me. Or if you want to take it spiritual, you know, everything is for me will be for me. And so I'm going to walk in I'm learning and growing in that, walking in that expectation of it's going to be okay. Who's for me will be for me. Those are not will fall off to the wayside.
Yeah.
And you have to shift people. Sometimes you may have to shift people around based on the current status.
Yeah.
And so
no, that's real. Because sometimes people disappoint us and they don't meet our expectations, and we want them to shift. We want them to shift, and they're not going to. Like, Jasmine has brought this to my attention. So if you're watching, Jasmine, just want to let you know, I get it. I be listening. It's just a process, right? But if you want, we expect people to shift, but they're benefiting from their position in your life. Why would they shift into a position that's less beneficial for themselves? So it's like, if this is no longer benefiting you, then you got to take yourself out of the equation, because the other person is getting what they want, or getting they're getting something. There's something that's happening where they don't feel the need to like walk away from it.
And you got to know your cost for your access. So they can only pay what you give. If you give them at a discounted price, they'll keep giving you discounted activity, huh? But you gotta know your cost. You gotta know the cost. You gotta know your worth, honey. No, honey.
No,
but today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Absolutely not.
No, I tell you, because if you share your experience with somebody, like, well, you said. You ain't never had nothing like this before. Okay, but I know what I want now and what I don't want. Just because I didn't get that back then don't mean I got to deal with this now. Hello.
Listen, it's like we live in a world where people want us to lower our standards to meet their insecurities or their lack of. And a lot of times those conversations are not even like direct conversations. It's like unspoken language, right? So it's like if I have an expectation in my life to live a particular way, and I'm able to provide that for myself, and then you come into my life and now you don't live that way, or you can't provide that for yourself. So am I no longer supposed to provide for myself what I already had? And then but then the other part about that is, hold that thought. I saw this video the other day, and people, you saw it, and the people,
the guy in the car?
No, not a car. So the people in the comments were tussling. Let me tell you something. No shade to like certain comment sections, but some of these comment sections be missing the vibe check, and critical thinking is lost in social media comments on Instagram.
That's why TikTok, I don't do all of it.
TikTok, the people be clocked in tune. In my experience, in my world on TikTok, it's very different. But anyway, there's a video of this guy. This is like a middle-aged white guy, older white guy, and this young girl, right? Like young black girl. And I say that because there's so many different things happening in that moment. There's multiple dynamics that's happening and shifting for me, right? As an educator, I'm looking at it from different vantage points. So he has her stand up on the chair, and he's down like standing. So she's above him. And he says,
sorry, just keep talking.
Go ahead. So he says to her, pull me up. Can you pull me up? And she's like, no, I can't pull you up. He said, okay, cool. So he said, I'm going to pull you, and let's see what happens. So he pulls her, and now she's laughing or whatever. She's a teenager. But he was like, you see how I pulled you down to where I'm standing? He was like, you're already operating on a high level. You're doing all these great things. Your parents have set you up in these particular ways, and you're on your way to these things. And he was like, you see how hard it is to pull somebody up to where you are, and how easy it is for them to pull you down to where they are? That be happening in a lot of ways in different relationships. We allow people to sometimes not rise to our occasion. And sometimes you just gotta just acknowledge that in some relationships, the dynamic, and I'm not even talking about a man-woman thing, I'm just talking about a people thing. In some relationships or certain dynamics, somebody in the group or somebody in the relationship is a little bit further along than you are. And if you're not willing to be pulled up with these people, or you're not willing to like go get to that high level, excuse yourself. Acknowledge and excuse yourself. Let me tell you something. One of the things, but it was like two relationships that I was in. And when I was younger, I remember the Donnell Joe song? The Donnell, like Where I Want to Be, that one. And I remember just being young, dudes, and they so full of shit, they ain't shit, whatever. But what I have learned to appreciate, even if I don't like it, is when a man tells me the truth. I have had at least 2 men say to me with conviction, okay, I'm not where you are, Jasmine. And I'm not sure if I can offer you anything beyond where we are right now. And I don't want to waste your time because I think you're really dope. And how I know it was genuine is because they no longer tried to reap the benefits of a relationship with me. When somebody tells you, oh, I can't offer you that, but we still can hang out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But they still reap the benefits of all whoever you are. But when someone says to you, look, I see you, you're dope as fuck. And I'm not there yet. And I don't want to pull you down. And I don't want to hurt you. And I wish you well. What else can I do but respect that? That's it. Thank you for being honest
for me. You get all the
I got a couple of those that, and we cool. But that was the gist of why our relationship could not work, because they had nothing to offer me at the moment. And at the time, I was doing a lot of dope shit.
Yeah.
It might have been their insecurity. I don't know. We could have grown together. We could have worked, but I wasn't in the mindset of partnership at the time anyway. I was doing my own thing. You know what I mean? So maybe they saw something. Maybe they saw something that I didn't. But whatever the reason was, it allowed me to move the way I needed to move for myself. I've never, and this is no shade to anybody. I'm just like, I've never been in a space where a relationship with a man or even in friendship has pulled me down. I've never experienced that. But when I saw that man do that video with that young woman, I was just like,
yeah, that's
like how many of us could have avoided a lot of unnecessary BS if somebody would have just said, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
me. Who the least I could have avoided if I just learned to understand that it's easy for somebody to pull you down, because I've been pulled down than me pulling them up. Just want to check into the chat. Courtney said, Jazz, your hair looks great.
Thank you, girl, because y'all had me looking like, what's the name last week? No, I'm just playing. But I love a good laugh. I ain't gonna front. There's a clip in the video when I turned my head or something. I said, Lord, I look like Cedric the Entertainer from Barbershop.
And I was like, Jazz, I will not let you out. First of all, when I said that, remember that time I had picked you up, we still live in the patio, always live in the patio. I picked you up, you had pajama pants on. I was like, where you going? We was going somewhere, and you came out. I was like,
yes.
Remember that?
We was going to the mall or something. And you was like, where you going? I was like, to the mall. He was like, not in my car. He was like, go put some clothes on. I was like, whatever.
I don't do pajama pants. I don't do pajama pants. Oh, I don't do that. Yeah. So I was like, bitch, me.
I watched it.
I ain't gonna have you out here looking crazy now.
But I swear, but there was a moment when my head turned. I was like, Cedric the Entertainer. But
she had the side part. It was
the side part. It was the side part. It was the side part. Had me jacked.
But I want to say, so to your point with that, it's so true. And there was another video I think I shared with you as a brother, and he was saying like so many times. We were talking about men, we were talking about relationships, but men will try to doubt, will get mad because they can't give someone what they need. So rather than saying bowing out gracefully, they try to tear you down or tell you you're doing too much, rather than recognizing you just can't give them what they need. Especially women now, he started off saying, the women of today are not our grandmothers and our mothers. Mm-hmm. They have their own. They have created their own lives for themselves. They can do what our grandmothers and our mothers depended on men to do. So now it's not if they're not choosing men out of necessity, they're choosing because they like you. So a woman is choosing to be with you because they like you, right?
Because I like you.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. So he was like, so now, brothers, you have to now adapt your perception and how you interact with women, because you can't come with giving them stuff, because they've already established a lifestyle to give them themselves what they need and what they desire.
I just want your heart. That's it. I don't want, we can figure out all the other stuff, but go ahead, finish.
So you know what I'm saying? So like, and they're not even looking for that. If they're looking for you to be a provider, it's a provider of, yes, you got to come in with something, right? There has to be but also it's not just about providing financially, but providing spiritually. Can you protect me? Provide? Can you protect me spiritually? Can you cover me? Can you cover our home? Can you protect me emotionally?
Yeah.
Can you truly be a safe place even when I'm not my best? I'm not in my best light. When I may be at my darkest or my lowest, can you still cover me?
Yeah.
Can you take yourself aside for a second and say, okay, in this moment, and it's happened. I've experienced that when men will say, hey, let's stop for a second. I'm seeing something here. I'm not gonna say I haven't experienced those things haven't happened. Like, hey, we're arguing, but I'm hearing something deeper. There's something deeper here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How that's taking place. That's another story. But I know what it feels like when someone stops and pauses and say, oh, wait, this is something deeper than what we've been fighting about.
And see, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like when you see that.
I've experienced that. We'll talk about that. That's off path. But I've experienced that. But I also experienced, on the other hand, where and this is where it comes to capacity and threshold, or maybe just not want to do it anymore. Because or maybe they're willing to do it. Because people can do it, and then maybe they feel like they tried it and it's just too much for them. They can't keep it up. Yeah. We don't know what the reason is why someone can do it on one hand, the other hand, they just say, I can't do it no more. Maybe it's just too much. Whatever it is, that's not for me to understand. That's a person's, everyone has their capacity. But also that is the thing about dating and understanding. It's like, okay, I tried, but you know what?
Yeah.
I don't have it. I don't got it. And this is just too much for me right now. And that's okay. Like, that's all okay. That's all okay.
No, that's real.
But he was saying like understanding, because I was thinking about this too. A lot of men get upset with women. I was about what our group chat said we're in. And you look at this girl because she gives all the aesthetics that you think you want. You want this baddie. You want this baddie.
Our group chat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want this baddie, but then you try to downplay her because you think she asking for too much, but you just can't give it to her. But you knew that was too much for you, bro. Like that ain't even your lane. So you can't get mad at her because you can't give her what she wants or she requires. You can tell by what aesthetic that you know what I'm saying? Like, she go after a certain type of dude. And it's okay. And it's not a fault of yours that you're not that dude. Because there's dudes out there that would happily fund that. And have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
And even someone like me, like, I'm a baddie, but a different kind of baddie. You know what I'm saying? We baddies in our own right. But the baddie is like, like, if I want to buy a bag, I don't want to. Right now, I'm focusing on building my wealth, building and structuring my finance in a certain way. But I bought my own Burberry hat. It's for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you adding to it, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I want to know, I'm looking at your heart, your integrity, your consistency. Can you cover me? Can you be consistent in covering me?
Your discipline.
Your discipline.
Are you disciplined?
Your word. Can you keep your word? Because your word is your bond. Huh?
Listen.
Okay.
Listen. I believe in love. I do. I believe that there's somebody out there for me. But I'm in this stage now where I'm very clear about, there's like a difference between, like people have like these long lists of all the things that they want. Mm-hmm. I'm open to a lot of things, but there are some very clear things that I do not want and are non-negotiables. So my non-negotiables are very like internal things, right? Integrity, discipline, sexual discipline. Listen, you know what I'm saying? How long you been in the streets and how long you been out? You know what I'm saying? What we talking about here? Because these are questions you gotta ask, and these are things you gotta you got to figure out, like, I'm just
emotional regulation. Can you manage?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what really, and it's like, I remember this guy I used to talk to, he was like, yo, why you want to know what makes me upset? I was like, because I want to know what makes you uncomfortable, not because I want to do it, but because I want to be aware. So if I see it happening, or if something happens and you go off, I know why. I have an awareness of what bothers you, right? What's your pet peeves, things like that. And he was like, oh, I feel like that's negative. No, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to press your buttons. I want to know, like, where's your head at? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? But I've realized, and this is not a scarcity mindset. What I'm saying is that the kind of man that I'm praying for and that I'm asking God for, I don't think there's a lot of him. And then, not to say that there's none for me, I just don't think that there's a lot of that type.
You know why? Because he's gonna make somebody just for me. Just for me. He's gonna. I don't think it's not supposed to be a lot of them. It's gonna be that one that God made just for you and me.
And that works both ways. Like, there's things that I have that no other woman has.
They may have it, but no one can do it like you do. Because everybody can have they can have a wagon. They know how to write.
Okay, we're not doing this wagon thing today, Kiki.
Said they can have a wagon. Everybody got that.
Oh God, y'all see, I got my moo on today.
But somebody can't do it quite like you.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
That's all. And like Courtney was saying, do you consider me in your decision? And this is the thing: when a man does, you're gonna know it. You're gonna sense it. You don't have to even ask that question. When they prioritize you, when they consider you in their decisions, you're gonna know it. Huh? We didn't even talk about men tonight. That wasn't our goal. That wasn't our goal.
Wait, Jasmine said some areas are easier to navigate for some than others. Some areas are easier to navigate for some than others. Absolutely. But I do think so. Absolutely. And I know that for a fact, right? Because I know people that I can talk to for hours till the sun comes up about a bunch of different stuff. But then there's parts and there's things that they just
stupid. They're stupid.
I'm not gonna say stupid. I'm gonna say they're challenged. They're challenged in these certain communication areas. So I think
it's a thorn. It's a thorn.
It's a thorn. No, but I also say, like, even in this conversation that we have, I want to be very, very clear. Just for me.
Hold on. Can we keep it authentic? Because it's the group chat, right?
No, I'm about to say. This is what I'm about to
say. They stupid. Don't be too PC on here now. We be calling them stupid in the group chat.
Okay, I call specific people, and I also call groups of people stupid as hell. Right? Now, if you want me to define stupid, I can define what I think is stupid. I don't. You can Google it. Go ahead. You can Google the definition of stupid, because some shit just don't make sense. Now, Kiki, I'm
just messing with you.
I see. It's okay.
Stupid or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. Well, you're not. It's not a derogatory term, friend. Just want to let you know that.
I'm not saying it's a derogatory term, but I do try to how I talk to people, how I talk about life privately is not how I talk about life publicly. But let me be clear. A lot of the shit that's happening in the world is stupid. That's what I really think about a lot of things and about a lot of people's behaviors, the way they communicate and the actions they take. I think it's stupid.
The lack of common sense is stupid.
Stupid. And my grandmother used to always say common sense ain't common. But yeah, I think a lot of shit is stupid.
I tell my grandmother to call my father, you stupid man.
Listen,
favorite English word she would say,
a lot of things are stupid to me. But I also know that I can be a little bit of an asshole. Right. And I also know that I have a very high intelligence, like I'm highly intelligent. So I see things from different perspectives. And I try to give people grace. But yeah, a lot of this shit be stupid. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that although I think, so now we're on the word stupid, right? Although I think a lot of shit is stupid. And, and I think people sometimes display stupid. They display stupid behavior. Okay? They display stupid. You open this door. We are here now. Let's just have.
Well, he said we're in here now. Lean in.
And I'm not talking about just men. I'm talking about women and men. I'm talking about people.
Humans
people display stupid all the time.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing. I don't believe in absolutes, right? There are very few things in life that is absolute. You can be stupid on Monday and you can be smart as hell by Friday. It is very possible to change your mindset. You can shift your mindset. You can shift your behaviors. But if some things to me are just stupid. Now, do I do stupid shit? Absolutely. From time to time. It's very rare, but it happens. But that's just me. The other part of what I was going to say is that because I don't believe that this is just my belief and this how the world works. I think the only thing that's constant is kind of like is change, right? Change is the one thing that we can always count on happening. The seasons change, our body change, our features change. Everything about our human experience goes through cycles of change. I don't believe in absolutes. So I might say, like I need a man to do this or I need a man to do that, but then I might meet someone who can't do this one thing that I've always wanted somebody to do, but he does all these other things really great.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's like, okay, it's 20%. Like it's like the 80-20 thing. It's just 20%. Can I live with having to work with this person and give this person grace in this area because they have all these other things and they even have things that I didn't ask for, but I can appreciate, right?
Yeah.
I think it's problematic when we look at humans through one lens and we don't allow for the full experience of humans. Because
I think people are unrealistic in their views or even like their
gotta be agile, like Kiki say. Agile. You know what I'm saying? There's a strong possibility I could fall in love with a light-skinned dude with no beard. I don't know. That ain't what I asked for, but it's possible.
But if God packages in that light-skinned man with no beard, then
I'm gonna take him.
That's my compromise. He light-skinned with no beard. I take it.
Listen, I'll take it.
He's 5'7" with no beard. I'll take it.
What you say now?
I prefer.
Wait, no. What you say though? What was the last one?
5'7" with no beard. I'll take it, Jesus. But I prefer 6 foot and up, or tall-ish, 5'9", 5'10". I can go with that. But to your point, like people get a bit, they get rigid. They're rigid in there.
5'7", but
that's a bit. Yeah, I'm 5'7". You gotta be told. I need to look up. Look up. I don't know.
Are you really 5'7"? You sure you're not like closer to 5'9"?
I'm not. I'm 5'7". Solid, straight. I know I present tall.
You do present tall.
I got long. I have long legs. I have very long arms. My arms are very long. But I'm 5'7". I've always been. Well, majority of my adult, I probably shrink as I get older. Lord, keep my height. Lord, preserve my height, Jesus. We lose bone density over the years now, so I might get down to 5'5" at some point.
Yo, Jasmine is a fool. She's at the light skin creeps up on you. I can't.
Ooh, I've been on that side before. I've dated light skin. I ain't gonna say I've never been there, but I've over the years went on over to the side with the chocolates. There's something about it. So to your point, like you can't be rigid. Like people just. I think people with lack of experience are just stuck in their own. They just little bubbles of their realities. And they only talk to themselves.
No, I agree.
Or surround themselves with people who are just as limited as they are. That
absolutely
stupid thinking.
And this is why in my circle of women that I talk to and I go through things with, the majority of y'all have been in long-term relationships. I am the only one out of all the women in my life that I like my village of like women. I'm the only one who has never really committed themselves to an adult male. So that's why I be listening, because I know if I get into a long-term committed like partnership type situation, it's gonna be something I never seen or expected.
Girl.
So I just be trying to I'm just trying to stack my tool deck.
And even with the stack tool deck, it's gonna be something different once you have to apply.
Something different than what I'm aware. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm always I don't know what it's gonna look like. So
my other learning is talking about relationship. I also learned that even when someone does disappoint you and you don't like them so much in the moment, they're still worthy of grace, and you still have to give them you still have to know that they're still worthy of. They still can have their own journey of growing and learning.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want them to stub their toe about once a week, they still, they're still human and they have to grow and evolve.
I'm not laughing. That's not why I dropped something. But the stub the toe thing gets me every time.
Because I still, and the funny thing is, this is Christian content. Because she said they doing that whole trending of, what she's like, forgive, but she's like, oh, let them stub their toe. Like, what? Let them stub their toe. Just let them stub their toe.
Who do I want to stub their toe? Let me think.
Ooh. Or hit their shit in the corner of that bed right there. Bam. Hit it. And when they hit it, oh, I hate her. No, don't hate me. Don't hate me.
You know what other realization I have come to in this pod when it comes to relationships?
And I'm really kind about this. My humor is a little.
No, I think you're a very kind-hearted person, and you're also funny as hell.
I'm not mean.
You can be.
Oh, Jesus.
Anybody can be mean, Kiki. You can't dissolve yourself of meanness. You can be. Like, come on now. Let's not do that. I ain't letting that shit ride. Now, I'll give you a lot of goddamn grace, but you's a lie if you think I'm gonna sit here and let you say that you can't be mean. The devil is a lie, because I know you can, and so can I. But that's not who we choose to be on an everyday basis. That's not who we want to be.
Now, my mean streak is heavy, honey. My mean streak is just as thick as her gray streak. That's my mean streak. Go, like
not your like
a lightning bolt. Go come through strong and bold, honey.
At first she's like, I'm not mean. Now she talking about how thick it is. I don't have time for Kiki today. but one thing I realized that I realized in doing this pod and like talking to like you and Jerome and Jazz and like, the conversations we've had, even the ones we've had like off the air and like behind the scenes and shit. And I say this with love, right? I'm learning my capacity to care about people is very different than my capacity to love people. And I've always taken this position. It's like, I'm going to love you in spite of who you are. But I was raised that way, right? Because I had to love a lot of flawed people. Like I was kind of like trained to love a lot of flawed people. And I carry some of that with me in my adult relationships. But what I realized is that as an adult, because I don't want y'all to think that I've never dated. Yeah, I've dated. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you just another funny thing. But I've realized that as I was dating in those relationships, I was never really fully connected and fully tied to where I was in love with those people. And like, as I listened to like the conversations between you and Jasmine and y'all relationships and things that y'all been through, I'm like, oh yeah, I've not been in love as an adult. So I'm excited and I'm open to the possibility of that. Even though I'm scared to let somebody in my house. I'm just being real.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm just saying that there's a part of me that's afraid to like meet somebody new and invite them to my house. Like it's a concern, for my safety. But okay, because we're about to end soon. But look, I just want to make you laugh. I was doing something today. I was doing my hair or something, and I remember. Okay, and we're gonna have a little story time. Remember, I was telling you the story about the dude that I went on a date with twice and I didn't know.
I don't even know how that's even possible. You was outside. That's the level of outsideness I would aspire to be.
I'm telling you, I used to be living outside of myself in some way. I met this guy on Utica Avenue. Okay, I was coming from work. He approached me, and this is like in the 90s. Okay, he approached me, or maybe like the early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I was out of high school, so it was like early 2000s. I was coming from work. It was like one of them hot ass Brooklyn summer days. And he was like, yo, I would love to take you out this weekend. So, back then it was different. Gave him my number, whatever. We went on a date. So the first time we went on a date, the reason why I didn't go back out with him is because at the time, if you know me from back in the day, I used to do a lot of open mics. I used to produce shows at like Santos Party House. I used to be one of the promoters for Soundcheck Live. So I was like really heavy into like the entertainment, underground music and stuff like that, right? So we out and I run into one of the guys, like a little brother, who you know, who has done the show and like has been to other shows. And he was like, yo, what's up, Jay? I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like the conversation was quick because I'm not a disrespectful person. I didn't stop. He just said hi to me in passing. I was like, oh, what's up? How you doing? Whatever. Okay. So we go into the spot. We have some drinks. We have whatever. So the guy walked past another time with another dude. And all they said was, oh, what's up, Jay? And that was it. Same guy, but just with another guy that I knew from like the shows. That was it. He never asked me anything. Night finishes, we're leaving. As we're leaving, it's the two guys that came and that walked past and said hi, and like a couple of girls there, like, and they was like, yo, Jay, when is the next open mic? So I turn around, I was like, oh, I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for the dates. This man was like, nah, come on, we're not doing all that. Who are you talking to? Who you talking to? So I was like, oh, okay. Now I learned because I got yoked up once. That's a whole other conversation. I learned very young not to get in confrontation with men in the streets that I don't really know like that. Because, you know, I used to like them real tall. They'd be a little, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, noted. Not going out with you no more because I know a lot of people. Don't mean nothing. I know a lot of people. Cool. So that fizzled out. Had to be key, no lie. Because I moved to Long Island in 2007. So this had to be like 2-3 years later. I'm standing in front of the WBLS building with Wendy Williams. Used to have her show. I'm waiting for somebody affiliated with that
Manny
thing.
was 6 when you moved there. That's crazy.
Huh?
Manny was 6. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. So I'm standing in front of the WBLS building waiting for somebody to come down. And I see this dude. He's a nice looking dude. Let me make a very nice looking guy. So he walks up. And he was like, yo, how you doing, beautiful? I'm like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. We go on a date. He tries to basically throw his tongue in my mouth on the train. Don't do that. I don't know you like that. So afterwards, we were talking, and he basically was like, yeah, that's the same, like, so you gonna stop talking to me or something like that, like the first time. I said, what? He was like, you don't remember me from Utica Avenue? I was like, no. He was like, we went out. And then I was like, oh, shit. It was crazy. Oh, and you know what I remember? Because it made me remember when we went on the first date, that day that I was annoyed, he didn't even change.
Oh, yeah.
He had on the same clothes from work. He looked like he had been in the furnace because it was hot. Remember the hot summer days? He was sweaty. It was just not presentable. And I had a cute little tennis skirt. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I went on a date with the same guy twice and did not know it.
So I never had the same. I was on these dating apps a couple years ago. And I matched with this guy twice. The first time I was on the app, we matched, and he was weird. Like he was trying to get me to come to his house. I was like, I don't know you. Like I haven't even had a call. I'm not coming to your house. Then I went back on the app because I was like, you know, I had dated somebody for like a month. That didn't work. I went back. I met somebody else. We did for like 3 months. But I was on the app, and then he came back around. I was like, and he talking like, I'm like, sir, I already knew what he was going to do. Come to my house. I'm like, you got to be a killer because ain't no way you inviting girls to your house and having a conversation with nobody.
Yeah,
I've gotten to like engaging with somebody like 2 times in a row, but like he was just weird. And then one other guy I remember on Hinge. Hinge is a very strange place. I just want to say that. One guy was talking to him and he realized he just dismissed himself because I was like, oh, you should go to Atlanta. He was like, no. He said, too many gays in Atlanta. I said, what you think you want to catch gay? I was like, what they got to do with it?
You don't want to be tempted. That's what it really was. You don't want to run into nobody.
I said, what did you spit up? You think you're going to? I was like, but he live on Long Island. I said, do you go to the city? But he don't go to the city. I said, you are very little. You can't talk to me because I be outside. Like I love people. I'm around all the time.
He's very rigid.
Yeah,
very no temptations. That's hilarious.
You gonna catch it?
That's
once
crazy.
He said that, the conversation said,
that's it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you done
dry the well up. Like
the well is dry, sir.
He said, fellas, he said,
there's nothing here for you.
You know that white guy? He's this new guy. He's like coming. He's gaining some popularity because he be talking. He's like he talks about how sometimes men like fellas. He's like, men, you take a woman on a date and you complain about the money you spend. You think that's sexy?
All the dudes that be dressed in suits.
Yeah, he was like, what are we talking about here? Like, think about what you're saying. Why would that make a woman want to lean into you?
Yeah. And I just want to make a point, because the world will have you thinking that it's only black men that be having these conversations about money. It is men in general. So trust me, it's not just black men. It is men in different cultures having this same conversation. These podcast dudes are not just black men. They're all races.
But also, my friend Joe Benedetto, Italian man. He got the good Italian hair. Shout out to Joey. Me and his mother got the same birthday. That's my homie. But he always said, Kiosha, a man's supposed to pay for you. He's one of them old school. Don't play that. They're supposed to and he give me that lecture every time. They supposed to pay for you, Key. And I know it goes across cultures.
It goes across culture. No, because society will have you thinking that only black communities talk about these things.
No.
It's not. It's just that everything we do is hyper, like it's polarized for media. But every culture,
colorblind. Trifling is inclusive. There's trifling men across all colorblind or all cultures. There's trifling men. It's like there's trifling women across all cultures. Yeah. It's not just black women. Let me tell you something.
Solid men.
I'm from Long Island. Okay, I am from spaces there, but that's minority, but majority white, Caucasian. And the stories I've heard and heard, the issues that we're dealing with is not what's the word? It's not just.
It's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive to us.
Yeah.
We have this thing, and I don't go down this rabbit hole, but I hate when we glamorize other cultures thinking it's only us.
Yeah, no.
They just be just as trifling. They just keep it here, but they just as trifling. They be living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of them live off credit, being a shitload of debt.
Listen,
keep up with the Joneses. They try to keep up with the Joneses too.
Listen, I know a lot of white girls I went to school with who ain't have relationships with their daddies.
Yeah, houses. This is messed up.
Listen, I knew a lot
of dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? They began touched on too.
Yeah, like exactly. So it's like, yeah, but you talking about the white guy in the suit, that dude in the suit. When I saw his videos, I appreciated that his videos were universal.
Yes.
Universal. He was talking to all men. He wasn't talking to a specific group of men. And that's why, like, for me, a lot of the conversation that I try to have, I really try not to like hyper like men and women or whatever, but I'm a woman. Yeah. But I am a woman having a heterosexual female experience.
We're speaking from that lens
in this world, right? So I can only speak from what I know and what I've experienced. But everything that I say can be applied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, if it sticks, keep it. Let it fly. If it don't fly,
if it don't fly, when it don't apply, let it fly.
Let it fly. You know. So yeah, y'all pray for me, y'all, because when we come back, we ain't gonna tell y'all when our season 2 starts. But we have a date. We have a plan. We have the seasons for the summer. We have the seasons for the fall. Seasons, plural. It's all planned out. So when we come back, I need y'all to keep me in prayer. When we come back, I pray, that maybe I'll meet a little friend, somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm pretty cute. And I'm going front. I don't like doing my hair, but this just came to me today because I didn't know what to do.
You know what I said in my stories? I said, I got too many pendant outfits to be sitting up in the house this summer. I got too many pendant outfits. I need somebody to take. I want to be. I'm dressed up just to go sit.
I don't want to go outside this summer. Yeah. I want to be outside. I want to go outside. I want to see people. I want to meet people. You know what I'm saying? I want to like broaden my horizons. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't talk to God and I just prayed. I'm not, no shade to anybody. I'm not interested in interracial dating. And I prayed because God likes to he likes to make a lot of jokes. I just pray that ain't part of my life. I feel like I laugh enough. I feel like I got enough jokes. I feel like we've had enough.
Enough jokers.
I feel like I feel like I've had enough. You know what I'm saying? But the interracial thing ain't in my spirit.
Listen, my mom's going to an interracial wedding this coming. I said, you know what? I might go as a +1. Wear me a bad wig and take myself on down there. to Maryland and go ahead and see.
Did you just say a bad wig?
I did.
Kiki, I mind that spirit of shadiness. Why would you say a bad wig? What do you mean?
Because that's, you know what I'm talking about, Instagram, where like you gotta wear a bad wig.
Okay, so listen. If you go, don't you go wear no bad. You better go as Kiki. Don't be wearing no bad wig. You go.
I'm summoning soft girl life. No, I'm joking. No, yeah, I asked God. I need God to do his big one on this one. Whatever he's gonna do, Lord, do it. Lord, do it.
Yeah,
you know, I got some in these tarot, these horoscopes. I ain't supposed to listen to horoscopes. They be talking about reconciliation. Lord, I know what Ricky's doing.
Let me tell you something. My horoscope been crazy for the last couple of months because I'm a cardinal sign, and they've been telling me that my decade or some change of suffering is over. God has been telling me the storm is over. So I'm trusting that the storm is over. And let me tell you something else, right? So, you know, like numbers, right? So what's been happening to me?
Numbers as in
like
book in the Bible, or numbers as in digits?
Digits. So you know, like they say, like if you keep seeing like 1
like 11. I keep seeing 11.
Let me tell you something. I don't be thinking about the clock, my phone, nothing. But what I've started to do is collect screenshots from all the times I catch my phone where I catch a clock on 11:11 or 1:11. So I know God is doing something in my life.
That's all I've been catching. And 11:11 is a sign from the universe, a nudge to focus on your thoughts and intentions, and a potential indicator of spiritual awakening and alignment.
Yeah. So something is coming, and you're going to be in alignment. So I just be trying to like, okay, God, I hear you. You know what I'm saying?
I just got a text message.
Oh, listen. You know what? Okay, so before we end, let's talk about that. Because I feel like, you know, when you're single, you're not supposed to talk about the things that you miss about having companionship. And companionship, like we are not designed to do this life thing alone.
Yeah.
Right? Because if we were, this podcast wouldn't even make sense.
Oh, this is my rotation. I ain't in no relationship. I got a rotation.
I ain't talking about no rotation. It doesn't matter. It made you smile, right?
It did.
That's all that matters.
So it's like
that's one of the things that I do miss. I miss having like somebody, when someone shows that they're specifically interested in you, right? And even if nothing comes of it, when someone is like, I want to talk to you, I want to see
on you, see how your day going.
Right. When they are specific, like I like when people show me that they've thought of me. Have you considered? Like I love consideration. Like if you just send me a message out of the blue, like, hey, I was just thinking about you, how you doing? Oh, that's so sweet. It's like, you know, like it's like the littlest things. I used to date this guy every time I like stayed at his place. He used to have frozen peanut butter cups in the freezer because he knew how much I love them. And when he started forgetting, that's when I knew our relationship was over. But that's a whole other thing either. Kiki, why are you shaking your head? No, because I'm just saying. But I do like the little thing. I'm really big on like the small considerations because it means that you thought. Like if you know something about me and whatever, even if it's just conversation, consider that when you speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that you remember something I told you. But yeah, I do miss that. I miss that type of companionship where just like a quick phone call or a text, hey, just thinking about you. I miss those little things. But yeah.
I miss that. Just how you doing? How's your day going?
How your day going?
So I'm right now just building my Rolodex so they can fill in because, and I'm not even, like I said, I'm just more like just enjoying friendship, you know, and just conversation because that's what I'm focused on. And just like it's good to just have somebody be like, yo, what's going on? How you doing? How your day going? I'm good. You know, I don't have to talk every day because there's no right now for me. There's what's the word? When you like anticipate, like you have expectations. So it's just like, hey, because I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm not in that space right now because I'm still preparing. So it's like I don't mind the occasion. Hey, how you doing? How's your Sunday going? How's everything going?
Yeah. Like I get it. I don't have a lot of time to like
right now. I'm saying,
I get it. You know, listen. I don't have a lot of time to like really devote, like a full part of myself to anybody, like consistently every day at the same level. But
yeah,
but it would be nice just to have something to fill in the gaps, but consistently, right?
These are gap fillers. These are gap, because like
and also
right. This reciprocated, but it's gap. Like we both enjoy each other. Conversation we enjoy. We have our little jokes and laughs. But when that day comes and someone like comes in with, I'm on you, I want you, I'm going to let you know I'm consistent and I'm interested in you and being consistent and like want to really fill that space, then those things will fall to the side. Well, I'm gonna be like a Mack truck for a while, keep many spares till one come in and do what they got to do.
Tell you something. I ain't making no moves, no promises, and somebody tell me and show me.
I want to. Nothing.
I ain't making no promises, no nothing.
Move right now. I'm back on my ish. Like, oh.
All right. So look, me and Kiki gonna work on a budget because we gotta be outside this summer. We gotta be outside. We gotta do some.
This is me until the right man comes.
And be like, oh, what you said?
Huh?
Oh. What you said? You said something? Oh, okay.
Okay. Cheers. Okay.
Oh man, Jasmine said congratulations on season 1. She said we did a great job. It was much appreciated.
Thanks about guests. Thanks to Jerome. Thanks for Courtney. Thanks for both Jeromes.
Yes.
Everybody who's joined us tonight, who's sent us encouraging messages, who's just all the things shared, liked, commented. Because y'all be watching us on YouTube too. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. Even if you don't join us on a live stream, y'all watch later on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I be hyped when I was like, oh, it's 3 days and 30 people watching. Like, I get hyped over stuff like that.
Like, you ever seen that meme? It shows you like we sometimes we downplay the number of likes, but if you look at a visualization of what 30 people look like, what 50 people look like, what 100 people look like, it's like, oh, that's a lot of people.
No, absolutely.
So don't downplay the small.
Absolutely. There's this theory in marketing. It's like if you can get 3% of your following or 3% of people to do anything, to convert into like spending money and doing it, like that's a goal, right? So I'm fine with it. Like I just appreciate that when I upload those videos and they post and they premiere, that the standard now is at least 30 people are watching within the first 48 hours. I think that's amazing.
Just the beginning. And now we're going to say goodnight because it's 1:42 and we said we're not doing 2 hours a night. We love y'all. Thank y'all again.
Thank y'all so much.
Give me some round of applause.
Season 1. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. High five, girl. High five. High five.
May his peace with you till we meet again.
Until we meet again, y'all.
We're back. Better than ever. See you then.
See y'all in season 2.
Great podcast, ladies. Keep it going. I'm proud of you both. Proud to say I've been here. Yes, right, Court. All right. You help us name this. Stay tuned.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Bravo, ladies. Sticking to it and doing your season 1. Al, thank you. All right. Let me end.
All right. Bye.
Bye.